good? It's your boy, Chosen Pharaoh on the Rick Fly on the photo jet. Go solo yet. I don't know, I just ain't plan to lose my man for no roll checks. But let me turn it down because I don't want no copyrights on me. I'm gonna let it be low for a little bit. What's good? It's your boy, the Chosen Pharaoh.
I want to tell you how to use your mind power to get what you want now. Right there, wherever you are, looking and listening. First of all, you have to use your mind power to believe in yourself. The religious people would say to me, oh yes, Reverend Ike, you're telling people about believing in themselves, but what about believing in God? Well, who do you think God is? God has no personality except in man and as man. And God is not a big man in the sky. God is the real man in me. Let each person say this, because this is the truth of everyone. God is not a big man in the sky. God is the real man in me.
It really has been a minute since I posted, a video. Not that long ago, I gave y'all a vlog. I'm trying to be more consistent with the videos. Just make sure you like and subscribe if you hadn't already. And this video is gonna be about my spiritual awakening. Before I start though, if you guys comment down below if you guys are interested in crystals or have heard about crystals or not even know about crystals. Like, if you just comment down below if you hear say about crystals. Boom. Alright, because I recently just found this tiger's eye crystal underneath my bed, and for the longest I've been grieving for it. Like, it hasn't been on my mind like that, but it's like when I did lose it, I was low-key upset because like this is like one of the crystals that really, I believe, helped me out in my life. And like, if you don't know that much about crystals, well, crystals, they come from the earth. They, by what's the word? Like, by just like the elements of the earth creates these things. And I don't even know how many crystals there are in the world. There's so many, to the point where it's like it's unbelievable how many crystals, different types of crystals that there are. This one in particular, if you know about chakras, this helps with your solar plexus chakra, and as well as, my fault, we would call it, one of my friends called me. But I was saying that if you know about chakras, for real, this will help you on your solar plexus chakra. And what the solar plexus, like what that consists of, is more upon like your creativity, your like basically what you're really passionate about and what you truly love to do, simply as that. And like whenever you're doing new things or whenever you're challenged to do certain things, this is the crystal that can help you with those things. So, if you guys want me to do more freaking videos about crystals, please comment below and I'll just do my best on them. Like, I don't usually do videos about my spirituality life, so like if you guys are interested of me just teaching things, that would be amazing on my part, as well as your part for listening and for just wanting me to do that, because I have heard people that ask me to do that for my channel. How it started, I would say, because of the artist Capital Steez. He was a leader of the group of Pro Era, and just like listening to his lyricism, just the way that he speaks, it just really interests me in a major way. And usually when I hear a couple of songs from an artist that I really enjoy, or if I don't hear any songs from an artist that for some reason I'm drawn to, I want to learn about them. I want to know who this person is, and the fact that like I started listening to his music after he died, like it made me really want to know who this man was. So I would, watch videos or interviews just talking about who he was, and it just like it really resonated with me just how his personality was, and it said things like they said things about like how in one point of Steve's life he questioned, what do you call it, like his belief on God and just like what this world truly is, and I feel like it's a spiritual awakening that a lot of people are going through, and like, what do you call it? You see how like nowadays people would say things like woke and stuff like that. Like it's to a point where saying woke is so like it's just a cliche like thing that people say because they sound intellectual or when it really isn't that so much big of a deal. It's just like they made it commercialized by just saying woke, trying not to go off topic. So before I even known about Capital Steez, I used to see, consecutive numbers, like I wouldn't see like sort of like when you see 1111, I wouldn't see stuff like that, like 222 and 333 and all those triple numbers, right? But I would see, this is around the time, was I in high school? Yes. Was it? I don't think it was freshman year. I think it was junior year. Or whatever is next to a freshman. I forgot what it's called, right? But I used to see the numbers 69 a lot. Not talking about a sexual term. I'm not, none of that for that nature. I'm talking about just the number 69. And if you truly think about it, and I'm not trying to be so superstitious when I say this, but 69 really together reminds me of a yin-yang symbol, and I would see it on license plates, street signs, stores, anything that had to do with numbers. I'll always see it, my phone, and it was absolutely strange to me, and then after I learned about Capital Steez, just listening to his music consecutively all the time and stuff, and I would see the number 47, and they used to say, like, they said that like Steez, like he was obsessed over the number only because it was a balanced number. It was for the 4 was for the heart chakra, and the 7th was for the 7th chakra, and those two together was black. Like it's like a yin yang symbol. It's balanced, and yeah, it just like the number just like, I don't want to use the word haunting, but it was haunting, but not in a bad way. The only reason why I say haunting is because like it was everywhere. Like it was on my apartment door, and I used to always question, why did I live at 417 if 4112 was right across from me, and 412 is like my birthday, if you guys didn't notice. So, look out for your boy. Anyway, but yeah, and then like around my neighborhood, I would see the actual symbol of like the 47 logo that, Steez would show all the time, and as I travel, I would see the numbers everywhere I go on my phone, on the time. Still to this day, that number just always resonates with me through my soul, like on some serious stuff. Along with that, I used to watch spirit science videos. If you guys ever heard of Spirit Science on the YouTube channel, and along with just like listening to Steve, or before listening to Steve, but like I guess while this spiritual awakening was happening, I'm not too sure if it's around the same time period, but what you call it? Jaden Smith, he had a period where, like, this was the period where niggas was not jacking Jaden anymore. It was like around the time where, like, he wore the skirt for Louis Vuitton, and then, you know, like, people was just not fucking with him anymore after that. Like, certain amount of people wasn't fucking with him around because of that, or whatever the case may be, right? I'm gonna let you guys know where's this going to. So, all right, so Jaden, like, he put out a hoodie with, like, hella weird, like, different symbols and stuff, and it sort of remind me of just, like, math equations, or just like symbols that are ancient or whatever. But I didn't know for the longest what the hell these symbols meant, where they were. I'm gonna show some photos on the side so y'all can sort of, like, get where I'm coming from. But yeah, like, it used to, like, I used to be really intrigued on what it was, but I didn't know what it was, you know. And I remember I had a, like, while I was at school, we had art, and we had an assignment to, like, I guess, just, like, make an assignment of painting or whatever the case may be. I don't even know where it's at. I wish I can show y'all, but it was a symbol of the flower of life. And what the flower of life is, it's just, I don't want to just say it's another symbol for just being and just life, but I believe it's sacred geometry pattern that is like a puzzle piece to our universe, right? And I know that may just sound really weird saying out loud, but that's what the symbol is. I'm trying to, yeah. And within that, like, drawing a sacred geometry, you know, symbol throughout, because the fact that I did it, like, even though I didn't know what the symbol really meant, from then on, like, my life was just transitioning into a whole nother state, you know. So, like I said, it was, like, used to listen to Pro Era, American Corruption mixtape all the time, just consecutively, all the time. And then, like, a weekend after, I was on the phone with my bro Bryson, and he around the time, well, he still is a photographer, but he doesn't live in New York anymore, so I don't know. He doesn't, like, anyway, it doesn't have to do with the story. So, I was trying to see him. I was in Soho, Manhattan, New York. I felt like I said that backwards. Manhattan, New York, Soho. Whatever. So, yeah, I was just walking down, you know, the sidewalk on the phone with him, trying to figure out, yo, where, bro, like, where you at? Right? And then down the block, I see this dude that looks exactly like Joey Badass. And I'm like, I'm still on the phone with him, but I'm looking down this block, and I'm like, yo, that dude look just like Joey Badass, right? And I'm like, yo, Joey, that's you? And then he was like, yo, you already know. Dab me up, nigga. Like, it was amazing, you know, listening to an artist that was really close to him, you know, and then seeing him within the next weekend, you know. So, personally, for me, like, other people would say it's a coincidence, but for me, it was a spiritual experience. So just, like, learning about spirituality and, like, different things within it, about, like, chakras and affirmations and things for that nature, I started meditating, right? And then when I started to meditate, things that I questioned about my life just came to me, you know. Like, most people really don't like meditation because maybe it could be hard for them, or they say, yeah, like, they say it's too hard because, like, their mind just always just wander. And honestly, that's the whole, personally, I feel like that's the whole point of the meditation, because we live on Earth. Our mind goes rapid all the time with this technology, with things that's just going on in the world, with, like, things that entertain us. you know. So of course our mind is gonna wander, but meditation helps us calm that talkative mind. It's like when you meditate, like you think of just all sorts of stuff, you know, and it's like as you focus on your breathing, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just repeatedly do it and like relaxing, you know, that's what it's supposed to be. It's just relaxing your mind. Breathe in, breathe out. That's all it really is, you know. And honestly, people say that they don't have time to do it, or you make time for it, you know. And what I do, the best times to meditate, if you guys would be interested in meditating, before you go to sleep and after you wake up. Because what do you call it, when you wake up in the morning, your mind is not, you know, I don't want to say cluttered, but not so much active. Like you're really at your calmest, you know. And then when you sort of like at nighttime, when you get tired, when you're getting a little sleepy, those times are the perfect times to meditate. So, you know, that's a little tip for you guys. But yeah, like, all right, so we're gonna fast forward to when I moved to Baltimore. It was truly rough, at least from my mind state of just leaving. And then I moved to Baltimore when I was 17. Yes, 17. I moved to Baltimore, and like I was in the middle of high school, and like I was going through depression. Like, you know, it was really hard because I lived in New York majority of my life, and then at just a weird ass age, I'm in a whole nother state. You know, it was so like I had a lot of time to myself, and along when I started YouTube, I started meditating every day, like twice a day, 3 times if I can squeeze it. And it was to a point where when schoolwork or school stressed me out, because it most definitely did stress me out, like just meditating made me feel not even just happier, but enlightened. Like I had the answers to any problem I was going through, any situation. Like I was not letting the things in this world affect me mentally. I'm trying to explain it the best way that I can, but all I'm saying, you guys, is just that everyone has a mental issue, whether it's happened in their past or it's going on in their present, you know. And I totally suggest honestly, personally, I feel like if everybody meditated, the world would be a better place. Real. Like, I'm being really real when I say that. Like, it does so much. It did so much for me that I'm just like, and it, like, when it comes to meditation too, it's just the same as a Christian person praying every single night. It's a form of praying, you know. Like, it's a practice that needs to be done every single day. And I know sometimes, like, I do have my days where I didn't meditate, you know, but it's just one of those things that really helps you out. Like, it really does help me, you know. But yeah, like, where I was going with this, I was saying that, like, it was to a point where in school I didn't care at all about anything, but it started to be a problem because it's like my grades was getting low. But I felt like so happy with myself. I never ever felt that much self-love and that much happiness within my being in my life, you know. Since then, like, when it comes to like spiritual practices and stuff, like I can't stop like learning and discovering new things, not just about myself, but how to practice these practices for myself so I can learn so much about myself and what is around me. To rethink about how I'm acting as an individual, the words that I speak out my mouth, the people that are around me. Like, you have to question these things, you know, because sometimes we ask ourselves, why are these things happening within our life? But it's not the things that are happening to us. It's not the people that are affecting us. It's you. You are the only one that can create your reality, and that's a fact. You know, like, a lot of people really don't know what the human mind can actually do within this universe, like within this reality, period. I would say to whenever you react to whenever you react to someone saying something to you that upsets you or affects you in any way, just question it. Just ask yourself, why do I really feel this way? Why am I letting them affect how I feel about myself? Because all of us have belief systems that hold us back from a lot of stuff, you know? Whether it's like trust issues in your past or just how you personally feel about a certain sex. Examples like that, you know? And another thing that like really needs to stop is like a person doubting themselves or putting self-doubting, you know? Like, it's not, you're just making your life worse by just doing that. The things that you say, like, you know how they say, well, I don't know if you ever heard a person say this, but when you know how you spell words, and when we speak, they are spells. Like, we are casting spells within our reality once the way how we speak, you know? And the thing is, I'm trying to like really, because because I'm not I usually don't do stuff like this, so that's why I'm like really trying the best way to explain it to you guys. Sometimes when we have negative thoughts, they're not necessarily our thoughts. And when I say that, I mean like what you absorb, like you really absorb everything around you within this room, or if it's certain people sort of rubbing off on you, or what you're consuming, what you're eating. So I'm gonna try to say this one last thing, but your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions are energy, and it's on you to identify what those things are that really bother you. I don't know if I explained that. I really explained that kind of weird. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video or got anything out of what I said in this video. And tell me what you guys think and comment below. I love you guys. I'm so proud. Like, yo. Like, I recorded this video before, but it didn't come out the way that I wanted, so I re-recorded it. And yeah, I love you guys. I'ma be consistent in the best way I can.
Basically, have to create a group of all indigos. We have to come together, you know, create our music, and like eventually we're gonna have to like be about our message, which is taking over the government. So I guess on some 47 shit, that's our next step, you know?
Music is the most influential shit on the planet right now, like, period. Like, there's no getting over that, because that's universal language. It goes further than just the music. It's like, that's what people hold on to and shit. It controls people's emotions. Fucking Bob Marley, John Lennon, these niggas was alive right now, and they said, don't vote for so-and-so. They have a good chance of fucking changing that election, you know what I mean? So it's like, if the musicians can come back and be influential in that way, then we can fucking bring change. And that's basically what fucking Beast Coast is doing and shit.
Hell yeah. It's gonna happen in time. I mean, I feel like it's too late for anybody like to overpower us, you know? It's like, we got full control over this. That's why we're doing it at Godspeed. enjoy the herb.